So we wait a few minutes. This happened before another week or two ago. I'm not seeing it live showing up my channel either. So we give it a second to see if anyone is coming to join. Just bear with me now for a moment. We'll see now if it's working. All right, it's showing up live now, so I think it's finally working this time, but it keeps conking out after a minute or two. So I don't know what's up with my internet today, but if you can see me, hello, and welcome to the weekly live stream. Hey Dad, how are things? We'll see if it cuts out again in a few minutes. Like if it keeps cutting out, I might just we'll leave it till next week. But I'll keep talking until we cut out again. Hi Andre, and welcome to the weekly live stream. So my phone is acting a bit kind of funny today. It just kind of keeps conking off, and the internet just keeps dropping in the shop. So I know they were doing some upgrades with the company I use for my internet. So usually that's what's to blame. But anyway, welcome. Hope everyone is okay and they've had a good week. We're out of winter time. I think now is February is springtime in Ireland. So we have hi Jimmy. Hello, very nice to have you on the live stream. So we're out of the the winter time and into the springtime now as well. Hello, Desi as well. How are things? And welcome to the channel. So I've been cutting a lot of walking sticks there recently, and that's kind of what I've been doing mostly. I've been making quite a lot of sticks. I think I put quite let's see, about 20 or 30 ones up today, and I'll probably have another probably 10 new products up tomorrow morning as well. So I've been working on a lot of sticks as well as cutting. Not too much going on in my life other than that. Just as always, I'm pretty tired as well. So what's going on in your lives? What's any questions you have this week, or what would you like to talk about as well? Doing good, thank you. Some greetings from central Pennsylvania and the lower anthracite coal region. What's that area like? The coal region, is there a lot of coal mining that goes on there, perhaps? So yeah, like it's we get a lot of people from all over the world. I can't find anywhere tofu sticks. I can't find anywhere tofu. I don't really know what tofu sticks are. Dennis says, hello, Francis. It's been a while. Hello, Dennis. How are things? It has been a while indeed. It's always good when you can join the live stream and have a chat. Troy says, just order a couple of Blackthorns from you. Very good, Troy. They'll be going out on Monday morning with the courier. So the courier usually works on weekdays and they collect on Friday morning first thing. So any orders that come in like Thursday night or Friday, they usually go out on Monday morning, and they take about like 3 to 5 days. So if you go out Monday, you could have it probably by the end of the week. No real delays with the couriers. Everything's fine. There's no mad weather going on as well. So they are delivering things quite well. The Irish did the coal mining and invented unions and the 40-hour work week. My grandfather on my mom's side, he worked in the coal mines, and I remember hearing a story when I was young that he got trapped in a mine for 3 days, and it did affect his lungs as well, because a lot of Irish went over to the UK to do some work in a lot of the coal mines. But I think now most of the coal, from what I can see in the shops, come from Poland. It's always Polish coal, and so it's and I think there rules as well that you can't burn coal in towns or cities. You need the smokeless fuel or something like that. But anyone who grew up in the 80s and stuff in Ireland, they'd know exactly what a coal fire is like. The heat that comes out from a block of coal when it heats up is not the same as wood. But blackthorn is surprisingly, if you ever have to burn blackthorn wood, which I do every now and again if I have bits and pieces that are useless, like just like small little 1-inch, 2-inch pieces, there's some heat that comes out of them when you put them on the fire. Not as much as coal as well, but that's one nice thing that you kind of need in your house, to have like an open fire in the sitting room. Like I know a lot of people now go for central heating and underground heating and stuff like that, but you can't beat in the evening, coming back from a long day, everything's quiet, the house is quiet, just having a cup of tea and getting the fire going and listening to something and just kind of chilling out as well. That's why I like these podcasts and stuff. I like that I can kind of be doing other stuff and have them running in the background. Uh, to let's see, Tarina Mile, good afternoon, and Zero Fox, evening as well. Very nice for you to join the live stream. Kirk says evening and evening to the order. Yes, the Order of the Blackthorn. I must set up a Facebook group in that when I get a chance. My priorities at the moment, I just want to get a lot of sticks online, and just so I can kind of take a few days to kind of chill, relax. But what I mean by that is go out cutting. So usually when I go out cutting blackthorn, say on a Monday, the Tuesday I'm useless. I'm so tired and worn out, and then the Wednesday I'm just getting back into it. So, I might just do once there's a bit of packing. But I have a lot of packing to do this weekend. I see there've been a nice few orders coming through as well. What style of blackthorn sticks are your favorite? Um, well, there's let's see. For me, I kind of like a kind of shorter one because I'm like 5'4", so 33 inch seems more comfortable for me. So I like a kind of like 33 inch, and I want something with an unusual handle, like something that looks a bit different. Like you don't want every stick to look the same. You want something that looks a bit and just kind of fits nice and comfortably into your hand. So usually that's the kind of blackthorn stick that I usually like myself. Can you cover Rowan versus blackthorn again, please? Yeah, I can indeed. I don't know if I have too much Rowan because I sold it all last year. I must go out and get cut some as well. That's on the shopping list as well. But the Rowan tree is beautiful. Like in the late summer, it has the red berries as well. Also called mountain ash and witchwood. And in old Ireland, it was believed that if you held a bit of rowan tree in your house, that it brought good luck and fortune. So it's very, very kind of associated with good luck and with protecting the house as well. It just looks amazing too. Like when you're driving around and you see these kind of like silver kind of bark and the red, and like the leaves are similar to the ash, even though it's not the ash tree. But it's a very lovely wood, a little bit lighter than blackthorn, but still I do like to make walking sticks out of it as well when I can get it. And it only grows at a certain kind of altitude that you have to kind of usually go up to a certain altitude to get it. So it's not something that's commonly available everywhere. So I kind of like the story. I like his connection to Ireland as well. And after blackthorn, that would be my second favorite wood, and then after that maybe oak. Um, let's see now. Where was I again? Tommy, my friend from Florida. How are things with you? Hope you're working pretty well. I know you're always working on these quality projects. Sawyer, yeah, I sent. I think you bought a stick yesterday. Thank you for going to the trouble of trimming my stick. Apologize for the confusion on my part. No, it's fine. It's fine. I was wondering because you're like, do this, do that, do this, and kept going back and forth, and I was like trying to make sure that I kind of understood. But we got there in the end. That's fine. Kurt says, take the hard life soft, my brother. Don't forget to oil the bones. Yeah, I'm pretty good at that over the years. Like once you go out cutting, if you go cutting every day, you're going to get injured. So you just do it every like few days. It's like working out in the gym. You don't really go overboard. And I just haven't I've been very lucky with the weather this year. So that's like pretty good. Let's see, Davis. I'm also from Pennsylvania, coal region, small town of Jim Thorpe. Yeah, like in Pennsylvania, like I do have good support as well, and there's a number of U.S. States that seem to really like my sticks as well. Next we have manufacturing consumers. Is that like a Chomsky reference? Manufacturing consent or something like that? So manufacturing consumers. Oh yes, I know. Yes, Bill Hicks is the name, isn't it? That's it. It took me a second to realize that. So that's my good friend from Sweden. Torina Mile. I had to stop by a flea market and saw a stick seller. His two what he called blackthorn had added on tops and sounded very hollow. Well, if they sounded hollow, that's not good. They could be a bit rotten or something, and they've have a hollow in the inside. But like Torino, you've been watching my channel long enough, so you know not to buy stuff like that as well. Kirk says that hiking stick is my diamond gem. Yeah, that's a really unique piece, and that you got as well, Kirk. Like they're hard enough to find, and that's good that you found them. Tommy says, all good, thanks. Busy as usual. It's good to be busy. there's working jobs out there. Everyone should be working at the moment. Like, no one should be complaining there's no jobs and stuff. There's jobs everywhere. Yeah, all this talk about recession and this and that, not I don't that's not going to happen. There's jobs everywhere. People are working. People are just worried about inflation. That's about it. But everyone's saving and everyone's working. So like, I don't think when people are working as much and there's plenty of jobs out there. I know people aren't going for the jobs and stuff like that. I think the US job report was a bit weird today. Joe Douglas says hello, Francis. Hi everyone. Hello to Germany. Hope everything's okay with you there. And then Bill, yes it is. Very good to for you to join, because I know you're always working on big construction projects as well. And thanks for joining the live stream. Here is just I usually just ramble and talk and just meet with people and my customers and people who have bought my sticks. Usually this just kind of like some kind of like after sales that I do with talking to people, as well as I enjoy it because it gets to the end of the week to meet and talk with people. Troy says, I want to order my brother a Blackthorn. I saw one that looks thorny, but wanted your opinion on what you recommend. Yeah, like it's which what I'd recommend. It depends on like the age of your brother, the height of your brother as well. Do you want one that just looks cool, that he just wants to show off a talking piece, or do you want something that's like really practical, or something that he's going to use as a walking aid? You might go for a bit of a more of an L shape or T shaped handle or something like that. So yeah, just send me like some information and I can like recommend a few sticks like later on. Usually I do this for an hour, then I have to collect my daughter and her friend, drop her friend home. Again, I have to go to the shop, get some food for the kids. Then I got to go back, sort out a few things, and so usually after the streams, I'm busy for the next hour or two. But after that, I'll give you a response. Trina Mine says, "Never from the street, only here." Very good. Tommy says, "Rumor has it that the mandates are being lifted in Ireland." Yeah, there's nothing anymore. All restrictions have been lifted in Ireland. I don't know if the mask mandate is still here or what not. Like everyone still seems to be wearing masks. Like even though they're not really much good. In terms of protecting you from it. I suppose it reduces the risk slightly, but we got to learn to live with it and move on. We're heading into the third year of this now. We know what to do. We know what it is. We've all been vaccinated. We've all played the game. We've done what we had to do. Enough is enough now. Time to put this behind us. Live with whatever remnants are out there, and just get on with our lives. Get on with traveling. Get on with having fun again. It seems like the fun police have been stopping us as well. But it's one of those things you can't escape the conversation of what's going on. I think everyone is like a coil spring here, ready to go and to do something. We've all been in a prison of sorts, whether a prison in our mind or prison of being depressed that we can't go places as well. So it's very important to have hope as well, and to stay positive. And you just try to find positivity where you can as well. And don't find positivity in the end of a bottle too much. It's not probably the best way to do it as well. Sawyer says, good to hear as well. Very good, Sawyer. Like glad you've joined the community as well. You picked up quite a nice stick, and hopefully we'll get you into being a stick collector. As we say here on the live stream, to be an official stick collector, you have to have at least 3 McCaffrey Crafts original Blackthorn walking sticks. To be really considered a collector as well. Like I'm one of the biggest names within the Blackthorn trade. So when you buy from me, you can see who I am. You can interact. I do these live streams and talk to you as well, Sawyer. You know that I'm giving you like a real product as well, and I have a reputation to protect by putting myself online. By that I mean that when I put myself out there and put my product out there, I have to know what I'm selling is authentic, and that's very important. And it's one of the very few Irish products, like you're owning a piece of Ireland. Soil like that grew out of Irish soil. It was nutrients came from Irish soil as well. Probably some some cow shit in the field went into the ground and helped those as well to grow, because there's plenty of cows near where I got that stick where you did the cows would come into the field. I remember a bull in that field cornering me. I think I had a bull story this year as well, and it was a while back. You got to be careful when the farmers open the gate and the cows go from one field to another. And if you're in there trying to get a sneaky blackthorn or something like that, you can get a sneaky, bull coming up to you as well. And it's it's tough going. Good to hear the Irish are back in the pubs. Yeah, they're back and they're drinking as well. It's kind of like a weird fog, subdued. Everyone's emerging from their caves and they don't really know what to do. There's still a bit of a weird atmosphere around. Like it doesn't really feel, like that. Yeah, but we're in we're in winter time. Come the summer, like it should be pretty good. Like I have a few trips planned. Going to Glasgow, going to Birmingham, then I'm going to go to Hamburg, then I'm going to go somewhere else as well. A few different trips that I have planned. Let's see. So yeah, it's a weird, but it still feels a bit weird when you're out. Like everyone's still, a bit kind of like awkward, and they're always looking at you like you're the harbinger of death. With some grim reaper sitting on your shoulder that's ready to jump. But you can kind of sense that there. But like people just need to like there'll always be. But it's like you got to change the collective consciousness of a nation. To change the collective consciousness of a country after it's been traumatized by all of this that's happened. It's going to take time to recover. So I expect there'll be plenty of drinking going out there. The greatest, it's always great to have you on the live stream, or resident expert in boxing. A good afternoon to you, Order Blackthorn. You put some lovely sticks on YouTube this morning. Yeah, yeah. I have even nicer ones. I've been kind of like put nice. These ones are top class that I put out there, but I have another 5 as well that are even better as well. So it's all about like putting them up there and trying to get guys interested. But now is a good time of year to be buying sticks because like the Christmas run I'm flat out, and it's just like when you get to the last like week of Christmas, it's just like whatever has been left over from all the sales. Like now is like the best time of the year to be buying sticks over the next few months, where I have more time to put into sticks. I pick out nicer ones and make them as well, and especially into the summer months. Then I try to build them up, and then you if you've been watching my channel for the year, when really good sticks come out, you got to get them fast, because if you don't, someone else will. And these are collectible commodity. And these YouTube videos will stay on forever. Like once they're up there, 100 years from now, someone doing a college project on me would probably be watching these videos, trying to put together as well about blackthorn making and stuff like that. And that's kind of like another reason why I do this YouTube. I want to keep like a catalog, or some kind of like evidence that I was doing Blackthorn at this time, what was going on as well. And it might be good to look back at these videos 5 to 10 years from now to see how things have changed as well. But I'll keep it authentic as well. I'll keep it as authentic as possible. Troy says, I now have 4 Blackthorns and 1 rowing. What inspired you to be a Blackthorn stick maker, Troy? Very easy, my dad. It was a family tradition. So my dad's a carpenter by trade. He's worked with wood all his life. Smell of sawdust off him, so I got kind of used to that, and it was in my blood. And started for me as a hobby. I didn't want to go into woodwork and carpentry because my dad said it was really hard, and I should use my brain and not work as hard as he did. And I did that for a few years, and then I kind of got into the physical work of Blackthorn. Then usually like it was when I had young kids and I needed like an escape from the family, as all guys do when the pressure's on, and you don't know what's going on when you're a new parent. And I used to go out to the shed and work on sticks, and that's kind of when it started to gain traction, and I started to get really into it. And then I went to a lot of the craft fairs. I did the marketing. I put all my time and effort, and it's like when there's a certain process you have to go through to be a shillelagh maker. You have to go to all the markets. You have to go out there. You have to sell like a few thousand sticks and things and get things going before like you can't just come out with your first 26 and say I'm the expert, who's my great grandfather's been doing it for 10 generations. Like you have to put the time into it. An apprentice of sorts, and to be considered like a quite well known stick maker. And like the sticks I make, they're more rustic, the more authentic. You know, they're not they're more quirky sticks. If you're looking for something a bit different, unique, interesting handles, the way it sits and stuff like that. And that's the kind of way Blackthorn always was. And as I was saying, you're not getting any more of an authentic Irish product than that in the market. Let's see. James said we have black bears and rattlesnakes in Pennsylvania. Are black bears the one you have to attack if they attack you? I think I remember that from the videos. You got to square up to those guys. They kind of hunt you and eat you apparently. And I'm only a small guy, man. They'd be looking at me like a chicken McNugget. Rattlesnakes as well. From what I know of them, you kind of step in the wrong place, they get you. So like if you get bitten by a snake, like how long? Say a rattlesnake bites you. Like how long do you have to get to a hospital? And you have to bring the exact snake with you to get the right anti venom and stuff. And like, does your skin start to dissolve like straight away? Just interested to know since you're in the area with you see that's the thing. If you go for a walk in Ireland, nothing's going to kill you. If you go for a walk in America, you need a gun. Like I kind of understand Americans now, like with they need weapons and they need guns and different things. The more I've kind of talked to Americans and I've got to know as well, like you need there's a lot that can kill you over there. You need to be feel protected. You need to have something like the Blackthorn walking stick is good for snakes and stuff. It can create distance. Apparently this lady was walking with a stick before, and the snake went and it hit the stick instead of her, and she's so thankful. And she sent me quite a nice thing, and she was very thankful. She's told all her friends and helped me get loads of sales as well. And from that, let's see. Sawyer says, "Yeah, my father mentioned having to dodge bulls at points when taking shortcut to school when he's growing up in Texas. Yeah, like in Texas and America and stuff like there's a lot of danger out there, and sure, Texas is pretty cool. Like you can have a lot of weapons, you can carry them around and stuff, and it shows you people in Texas are quite responsible. Like, everyone, was thinking like, oh, if you have these weapons, people are going to like go and do all of these things and stuff. And if people have evil intent, they could get you a pen in the eye or something like that. But I don't know, like, and kind of understanding more about kind of gun culture and stuff in America. And it would be like you do feel more kind of secure and safe. And like as a father, as a protector of your family, you just kind of like we're all hunter gatherers essentially, and we have that kind of we want to protect as well inside us. And I think these are good kind of traits, and I think more masculine traits need to be encouraged as well, just so that we have a next generation of tough guys coming up, as opposed to guys what like it's. As I was saying earlier, the collective consciousness of everyone at the moment, everyone's walking on eggshells, afraid of this, afraid of that, afraid of like saying the wrong thing. You should never be afraid of saying the wrong thing. You should just say what you feel. If you say the wrong thing, someone will call you to task in Ireland. Like if you go into a bar and you say a ridiculous statement, like like rubbing banana skins on your eyelid protects you from the latest variant. Your lad in the bar will look at you and call you a gombeen or an idiot, or say you plum Austin, or what's wrong with you? And they're called to task, and they're ripped on, and they'll be like, all right, that was probably stupid what I said. That's why they're all ripping on me. And you kind of need that kind of like a social guardians, calling you to task when you say something ridiculous, but more in a kind of like a banter type of way, as opposed to malicious and mean. Let's see now. Andre says, so now I'm ready with my work. My friends stay in the garage to play poker and make baguette for the guys. Very good, very good. So you're making baguette for the guys. That's why did you just get pizza or something like that? Or are you very good at cooking as well? So I thought in Germany you'd have like a German sausage, bit of bread, have a few beers as well. So that sounds like perfect as well. Like playing poker. I used to like playing Texas Hold'em. Uh, I've always been kind of good with numbers and seeing patterns, and I got pretty good at like reading tells and different things like that. You know how you just look at a guy's hand, or like any of the guys I was playing with that have like loads of easy tells, like that noise they make with their mouth when they're disappointed, and that kind of tut sound. Like you can hear that like every single time if you just pay attention to it. Like the way people breathe as well, like like the way their nostrils go, like people can't help it. Like you can't be like completely disciplined the whole game. Now you got to do is like like playing poker is just play the position each time. So you wait till you have position, and you just take it easy, and you try not to bluff too much, You just enter hands into people that are a bit weaker than you. If there's a really good poker player, then they're going to be able to outplay you as well. And just by positioning and stuff, that's always how I did. Okay, but I like the live games better than. But you see, it's very hard to get away once you have kids and family to go to one of those events. But I'd love to go and to take it up again. It is fun playing poker. Let's see, Sora says, proper training is important. My father hammered into my skull when training me on gun safety. Of course, people, need to respect, a firearm and education and gun safety. If people, like most people are decent, and if you show them the right way and how to respect it as well, it's not something you just get because you've seen, Bruce Willis in Die Hard or something like that, or you're a Rambo fan. You gotta have respect, the things like that as well. Claymore says the greatest that was our border defense force, hundreds of years of training and action. Troy says I get curious and even nervous looks when I carry my Blackthorn. That's good. That's what you want. That's what you want. But no, you get people as well that just come up to you and it's a great talking piece. So like, where'd you get that? What's that? Is that real Blackthorn? And because real Blackthorn is it's not widely available out there, so it is a rare item. And we're almost an extinct breed, us stick makers as well. Let's see, Kirk. In America, you have to show the animal who's boss first. You show the knife and fork, and then the gun. Then they run for the hills as well. Yeah, so what kind of animals you have there in Virginia, Kirk? You'd have what kind of animals that will run away if you show them a fork? Well, I suppose if they think you're going to eat them, they're going to run. And greatest says Claymore, haha. Andre says baguette with salami and cheese in the oven. Sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good as well. But sounds like that'll put up a few calories, my man. I need to lose some weight. If I keep eating like that, I'll have a third chin coming sooner or later. But yeah, it's good to meet up with people, and it's great to hear, Andre, you're meeting with friends, you're having a laugh, the way life should be, and people should, all your neighbors should be going out as well. But I sure they probably are. I know, it's just still in Ireland. I still feel that people just aren't quite there yet in terms of this is over. But the UK seems to be lifting everything. Ireland seems to be lifting everything as well. I got a few tourists that came in. I think there's a guy called Mark coming to see me on the 19th as well. So I must remember to meet with him as well. But another thing too, if you're coming to my shop to see me, I'm not always in here. I'm a one-man show, so in the mornings I'm here, but in the afternoons I might be somewhere else. I might be cutting sticks, or I might be doing something else as well. So if you're traveling a long way to see me, because there's one guy he came to see me, was about 10 days ago. I was 40 miles away and cutting some blackthorn, and he was like, where were you? I'm outside your shop, come here right now. And I was like, but I can't, I'm in the middle of something, and he's like, oh, but you. So my point is that if you want to meet me, say hello, come into my shop, just give me a heads up and I'll make sure that I can see you as well, especially if you've traveled some amount of journey to do it. Let's see. Andre says the best food for hard worker and the blackthorn cutter. Yes, yes. You need. Well, that's the thing. You're right, Andre, because you need extra calories after you've been blackthorn cutting. I usually have some chocolate with me for when I get low energy, because there's that mid part of the day where you've been cutting for a while and you're just wiped out. And I don't know, if you eat chocolate and biscuits and a bit of tea, it just gives you that extra bit of sugar rush or something like that to get you through. And if those few extra calories are important to burn off. Kurt says a black beer and deers all taste as well. But I do like eating deer, but there's hardly for these two little small pieces of deer, maybe about 3 inches by 3 inches, something like that. It's about €15. Imagine paying, what's that, close to $20 for a small bit of deer, and that's how you get it in Ireland. And it's a bit pricey. I wish it was more kind of readily available as a meat. If you go into the shops here, you just have the choice of pork, beef, chicken, lamb. That's basically about it. Every now and again there's a bit of duck. Only at Christmas time is really turkey. Maybe they have a bit turkey mince or something like that. But basically that's it. But I'd love if there's all game meats, GAME, and a few other different things as well. Have you ever been to the cliffs of Insanity in Ireland? What, the cliffs of Moher? Is that what you mean? The Cliffs of Insanity sounds like it's like a new nightclub, Insanity nightclub or something like that. I've been to the Cliffs of Moher. Actually, I watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the TV show, and they went to the Cliffs of Moher. Actually, the new series was pretty funny. Frank says Moher as well, my dad. But yeah, there's this TV show and there's Danny DeVito was on it, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's actually a really good, funny show, and they came to Ireland, and it was I was watching that actually last night. Uh, Francis, do you think satin varnish looks well in a shillelagh? Satin, not particularly. Like it kind of it can look a bit dull as well. And like with it depends on the like in the bark. Say if you have a really kind of textured bark, like you're putting satin on, then you don't need it to shine as much. So the satin would work on like a textured piece of wood. There's like ruffles and like different kind of divots and stuff like that. Then you can use it as well. And what varnish do you like best? There's no one that I like best. It depends on the piece of wood and the stick I have in hand. Different finishes might be needed for different types of sticks, so it just depends on the wood. So I don't have one that I use best. I use several. Kurt says, "My good hunt your own fills the free. Sorry, my God, hunt your own fills the freezer faster." Yeah, I'd love to hunt, fill the freezer up for the year and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool stuff that people outside of America are always looking in at. Like, you can go out there, hunt, get yourself a deer, feed the family for a year and stuff like that. Like, that's cool to me. Like, that's something I'd love to do. But I've always kind of liked the idea of kind of living or going to America, but like that kind of past a stage. But if I was going to be to like somewhere kind of more kind of down south, I think I'd be staying away from the cities for sure. Somewhere with good taxes. That's another thing. I know the taxes aren't too high. Let's see. Yeah, from the Princess Bride. Yeah, I know. Andre the Giant was in the Princess Bride. That's a great movie. Carl Hughes as well. Carl Hughes. I can't pronounce his surname. Uh, and yeah, like the Princess Bride was one of my favorite movies. I watched it with the kids there a few years ago, and they weren't impressed. They watched it, and it was just too slow paced from and stuff like that. But it's a great revenge story as well. Oscar Montoya, you killed my father, and now I'm going to kill you. And Andre the Giant, R.I.P. guy. Sorry, R.I.P. He's passed away now. He was fantastic in it as well. It's a great story. Billy Crystal, I think, was in The Princess Bride as well. And yeah, it's a good story. It's very entertaining and funny as well. Let's see. Jimmy Edwards is a good idea there. Rare steak and a Guinness perfection. Yeah, you can get Guinness and steak and Guinness and steak pies. Place in Killarney, I can call the Lord Kenmare restaurant. They do Guinness and steak kind of pies and stuff like that. It was actually okay. It's just restaurants are a bit pricey in Ireland. Like to eat there too often. It'd be great if they were a bit cheap, but the reason why they're pricey is because the rents and the rates and everything is so pricey as well. If the rents and stuff were a bit less, then the price of food would be less. Unless you see, that's why these owner owned restaurants in Ireland, like they always have that advantage when they own the premises. Sawyer says, in Tennessee, they're allowing used to hunt does throughout the year, if I'm remembering correctly, due to overpopulation, or the number of deer you can hunt need to go back and check. Yeah, there's all rules and regulations about culling deers and how many you can get, and you need licenses and different things like that. But it's a whole industry around it. But I know it tastes good, bit of venison, something like that. Kurt saying hello to my dad, and who is always ever present there in the background. He always watches these streams live, so he's always with us as well. So he's reading along the comments. And let's see. Sora says the U.S. Frank says hi back to Kirk, my dad. The Grey says, in Britain, we only hunt for food in the supermarket. What is it? Asda or something. We wouldn't know how to dress a deer over here as well. Yeah, I see. You string it up, you cut it down, you have the bucket underneath it, and, the deer skin as well has use. And, yeah, like, it's. These are skills that people need to know and stuff like that. But the world's always changing in flux. But, we'd need guys like yourself there to consult with if the world ever came apart and we needed to resort to hunting again. Kurt says Ireland is much better and quite less drama. I don't know about that, Kirk. There's plenty of drama here. It's never ending, man. Oh, the politicians, oh, the taxes. You know, there's plenty of annoying things as well around Ireland. Just need to open up deer hunting. Yeah, yeah, they do. They do some deer hunting in like I think October for a month. They can do it, and like there's a lot of local complaints at the moment for culling the deers because a deer attacked a woman in Clorglen probably a month ago. If you look up online, deer attacks woman, Clorglen, an old lady was out in her back garden and deer attacks. So it's kind of like all the locals want to hunt and get rid of these deers now, and they're really making their way over from Killarney, coming as far as Clorglen now, and the deer population has caused this is the argument. This has caused a number of road accidents as well, especially in the evening. And like they jump out on the road. There's not much you can do, and swerve and hurt yourself as well. Or from what I hear, a lot of people are campaigning to get the culling of deer up more and more because they only have a short culling period. But it's one of those points of contention and debate as well. There's a few that are against it. Um, let's see now. Deer hunting in Mississippi is a common thing, as well it should be. Like deer they breed a lot. They're plentiful. It's there's for me. I think it's there's nothing wrong with going out and hunting to provide for your family. Like killing for sport. I kind of for me it's like these fishermen who catch a fish and release it. Like if I catch a fish, I'm eating it. You know, like if I if I gone out and catch a fish, then I'm going to eat it. I don't understand this catch and release type of mentality. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, Troy says when I was a kid, there was movies I couldn't stand, but now there's some of my favorites. What area of Ireland are your favorite? Let's see. What areas do I like that I think are quite nice? Fermanagh, where my dad is from, is a very less travelled part of Ireland and is beautiful. You have like a Loch Erin, you have Devonish Island as well. You have Beleak Pottery. So County Fermanagh is a beautiful part of Ireland. Let's see where else is pretty nice. I don't really like the cities too much. I really dislike Dublin. It's good for like gigs and music, but I don't know, man. Just the people up there, they can be hard going when they hear a Kerry accent, and let's see. Galway is kind of nice. County Clare is nice. You have a few different festivals on there, different times of the year. Kerry is nice where I am as well. Cork. So if you're ever coming to Ireland, head to the kind of west part. If you're looking for somewhere a bit different and off the beaten track, County Fermanagh for sure. Um, let's see now. Francis, a pal of mine is off to visit his dad who lives by Strangford Loch in the north. He was saying there's a really old blackthorn in a shed there. It's coming to me next week. Can't wait. Yeah, send me a picture. Be very nice to see. If it's been in the shed for a while, and just be careful of a load of woodworm or something in it. Sometimes those really old things that have been left there for a number of years in those sheds and stuff. Um, I've seen a few of those blackthorns in like sheds in the north of Ireland that have been left there for ages, and like they're always destroyed with a load of woodworm and stuff. But have a look anyway. Kirk, YouTube's great resource for skinning deer. If in YouTube is great for learning, like who needs college education? Just choose what you watch well on YouTube. It's a wealth of information. There's people doing courses. There's a thing called Udemy. $15-20 you can learn any course you want. I don't know, the model of education is a bit kind of like outdated in my opinion. If you're highly motivated to learn something, you don't need traditional education anymore. You can go out and do it yourself if you're passionate about it. I don't know. I'd be a big kind of proponent for kind of pushing that kind of narrative as well. That that kids should pursue what they want. The pressure of this college degree and stuff. Can be a lot if they find their path of what they want. Focus on things, and most people now you give jobs if you can do it on experience. I'll be encouraging my kids to go whatever way they want to go as well. I think the daughter has to decide what subject she wants for her leaving cert and stuff, and she hasn't got a clue what she wants to do, as most people don't. But be interesting to see what journey. But you see, the thing is with kids, you have to leave them go on their own path. When they hit their teenage years and stuff, you got to let them go. They're going to make mistakes. You can't be I told you so kind of guy. Like you got to be there more as the guide. more as like, okay, that's happened. It's not the end of the world. I've been through worse, and you gotta be there more as a kind of counselor and guide, and and things like that. But you can't like support them as well. They gotta go out into the real world, and they gotta learn to make money. They gotta learn to take care of themselves. They can't have you taking care of them. I think once I was 18, I was, off of college. I had a job. I was like taking care of myself, working, and through college and different things as well. I had several jobs. Worked in a pool hall, and that was robbed twice, and I got fired from there because it was robbed, because the pool hall was right next to this bar next door, and there was a soccer match on, and it was Manchester United, and there was like Roy Keane and Dennis Irwin and Irish players in the team, and I went just to see. There was the final semi final was against Juventus for the European Cup, and I went out there to look at that match, and some Dublin hard men, three guys with sawn off shotguns came in. They robbed the pool hall. They opened up all the machines, took all the change out and everything, and they did this all in the 20 minutes that I went and came. So they were watching. They were watching me, watching for when I went to the toilet or break or something like that. And I remember I got called into the office and was asked about it, and I just told the truth and what happened and stuff like that. And then the next week after, the exact same week, same time, when I went to the bathroom for maybe like 10 minutes or something like that, the place was robbed again a second time, and I was just fired straight away. But like the thing is, I was trying to explain that, like, I have to go to the toilet sooner or later. They're there, they're watching. Like, they have weapons. Like, there's nothing I can go to do. So that was one of my jobs. I remember when I was a college student, that and like things like that put me off Dublin. Like, I had a few instances of violence that I saw up there, that I didn't really like Dublin too much. Like, and I saw a lot of things go down in Dublin that I just wasn't for me. We'll say I can go into that in another video some other time. Let's see, where was I now with here as well. Um, okay, so Sawyer says my dad's the car got totaled by a deer. Yeah, that would pretty much destroy it as well. As long as you don't hit the and damage the intestines upon impact, the bumper sets off the damages. Okay, so if you have a good bumper on the car. Claimer says thanks for the tip. I'll send a pic if it's not woodworm to feck. Yeah, it's just like they go in the top and the bottom. Like, sometimes there's a little bit of woodworm on those old sticks. You might be all right with it if it's just the very top or bottom. You can kind of cut the bit off or something like that. But yeah, like, it's I've said, like, all the ones, those kind of old kind of stone kind of sheds and stuff I've seen, because I've gone out looking for interesting pieces or old different things as well, but never really found any good ones up there. Clemmer, you lucky man. My dad had an antique shillelagh that a bouncer used to KO people down the pub in the old biker Newcastle in the 30s. And when my dad passed, my older brother got that as well. Yeah, well, like, that's a family heirloom, and there's a great story and history and tradition about that as well. You have those memories, and memories are living on. Like, you're telling this memory now of your dad, and what he had done, in Newcastle in the 30s as well. And we should always tell stories in the past, and tell stories that we know, and pass them down to kids, and I think that's quite important. Tommy says accidents with deer in the rut. Yeah. When they're mating is a pretty common thing here in the States. Yeah, they go berserk in the rut. Like, you hear the roar and all like that, and then they're fighting with the horns. Like, there, yeah, it's like, don't mess with a man when he's on the rut, we'll say. Let's see now. What was I again? What was I reading there? Time is when I was a kid in northern Ohio, and a girl was killed when a deer went through a windscreen. Yeah, like, freak events can happen. Like, if something like that, what can you do? You get impaled, and that's the end of it. And it's always sad when you hear someone like that. And how they've met their maker. But you know there's that's the argument as well for, like, the culling of deers. But it's a hard one to figure out. But all I know is I want to eat deer now. You're making me hungry. Um, so I remember you saying your dad was only one on your side for stick making. But how does your family and friends feel now? Yeah, my dad was the only one on my side to encourage me with the stick making. Because no one else in the family were supportive when I was like, "There's something here, I want to get this going. I want to do this. I want to do that." And they were just looking at me and said, "What? You were doing a comedy club. Now you want to be full time stick maker. The hobby was fine, but you want to actually try to do this and make a living out of it. But you have an education. You have this." But I'm like, "Yeah, but I can't find at the time in Ireland. It was very difficult to find work. It was after the 2008 housing crash. Then the few years afterwards, like Ireland got destroyed and Ireland ran out of money, had to beg for money off the European Union. There was no money in the banks or the bank machines, and it was a disaster. And then there was no jobs, and all my college education was worthless. I had to look at other ideas to get things going, and the walking sticks was something that I said, look, there's definitely something here, and I really liked from a marketing background the heritage and promoting Irish crafts as well. There was something. It was more like a cause that I was called to in stick making. And it literally how like it was I was called to stick making. I didn't really choose it. I was called to it. That's the best way I can describe it. It was just I felt there was something there calling me saying you need to be doing this. You need to get it going. You need to get out there. That's why I get so triggered when I see these Frankenstein sticks and people like that are trying to just hop on the money wagon and it kind of bastardize what is a really true Irish craft as well. Uh, Claimer 64, the greatest. We'll see what state is in. You should persuade your brother to donate to you. Yes, you should. It was your dad, so never get it off him. You will unless like in Ireland, the people bury stuff and they put it in like their coffin and stuff like that. But so sometimes, but like for me, it was something like I don't want anything in my coffin. Just give it to a family member. They can use it and stuff like that. I don't want anything in there with me. Do I? I'm trying. I must think about that. Do I need anything in my coffin with me as well? I suppose like I'd have to like the only thing I'd want at my funeral would be to choose the music that would be played. It would be some epic tunes, not this kind of like, and I would there's something I would like everyone to go up and say what I meant to them. Like you shouldn't be at my funeral if you didn't know. Like there's this kind of culture or culture, I suppose, in Ireland that everyone goes to a funeral, and even if you just met the guy once or you said hello to him or you saluted him, hello Johnny, how are you? These guys, they have loads of people go to the funerals. Like there's always, and half the people there, they might have just barely knew the guy or might be worked with him 20 years ago and maybe said hello to him or something like that. Like for me, if you're there, it'll be a small number, but if you're there, you must have a story about me. You must it must be a kind of homage to me. Like none of this kind of whimpering and missing me and stuff. I've been around for long enough, so like go up, tell a few stories, plant a bit of music, and that's it. But like one thing I said to my wife too, and she was like, "Are you mad?" I wanted like instead of like a tombstone, I was saying I want a tree. I said I want to be buried under a tree, and she was very superstitious. She was like, "Oh, oh, that's going to be haunt the tree or a ghost or something like that." And I was like, "No, no." I said like, for me, I'd love when I'm buried to have like a tree over me as well, and the tree will literally have my nutrients into it, like as I decay and become a ball of jelly and stuff like that. I like the idea that I'm giving it back into nature and becoming part of the tree as it grows and grows up really stronger, and like a tree is going to last for hundreds and hundreds of years. Like I was in the graveyard with my son about maybe 10 days ago, or maybe a week and a half ago. And then I went into the graveyard and we're looking for the oldest graves in Killorglin. And like we got to the 1800s, we could see like a 1700. And when anything was like in the 1700s, it was just faded away. And the graves weren't maintained and they were just gone and they were nothing. And I know, like for me, I just like the idea of like, whenever I go, whether it's tomorrow or 10 years or 20 years, whatever, I just like the idea of like, uh, And like I'm very accepting. Like I'm like, it was inevitable. We're all going to go sooner or later. So why not like talk about it now and just say things? Because my family are like, you're a bit morbid, or you shouldn't be talking about that. But I'm like, sure, why not? Like it'll get used to it. But I definitely all I have to do is decide on what tree. I just love the idea of like being buried under a tree and having it there, and people know then that's the tree that I'm under for hundreds of years. And if they think my ghost is there, all the better, like or something like that. But I wouldn't like under a blackthorn bush or stuff like that. It'd have to be like some kind of like epic tree that's going to grow and grow and last and look majestic as it grows for the next 1,000 years, knowing that I'm part of that tree. But that's just my own kind of thing as well. But I don't know. Like my mind is a bit mad, like in terms of the things like talk about with the family. Let's see now. Where was I again? Let's see. Sorry, let me just scroll back up here. The Grey says fair enough families. Troy says bull moose in the rut is one of the most insane and dangerous animals. I hit one outside West Virginia. If there wasn't one in the freezer, he'd have gone in the back of my SUV. We're all glad you answered the call, Francis. Very good. Ron says jumping in on the tail end of the stream. Sure, why not? You can scroll back and look back at it as well. I'll leave these streams up. Never waste food. Recycle. Very good. Let's see. Did our U.S. friends hear about the runner on a trail attacked by a mountain lion and he strangled it to death? He had a massive gash in his face. It wouldn't surprise me. Like some of these guys are quite tough, and but mountain lion against the unless it's really old. They said the mountain lions only attack when they're really old and they can't catch any of their food, and people are just looking at an easy target. I'd be an easy target like on their menu if they saw me. Ron says, "Wow, I jumped into a deep conversation." That's very good. Usually we're talking like, about different topics and stuff, and I just kind of answer your questions. So like the topics usually are just based on what you guys post in the chat and whatever comes to mind. So you guys kind of create the conversation. That's why the more you interact, the more you ask questions on these live streams, you make them better, make more memorable as well. And I'll answer, give my opinions on many things as well. Let's see. Kirk says sometimes the human wins, sometimes the animal. Tommy says a jogger being able to strangle a mountain lion might be a tall tale. Yeah, like it's it might be, but sure, why not? Makes for a good movie, perhaps. Mark Swain says, from the day you're born, you'll be forgotten after 100 years. Just a name on a stone. Yeah, like, that's the thing why you do YouTube. Like, what I'm hoping is that 100 years from now, these videos will still be up here and I'll still be, in the history of Blackthorn, I'll get a paragraph at least, on future books of the future and people researching Blackthorn and looking back. So like for me, I just don't. I know it is a true statement that like within 100 years, people are forgotten about and different things. That's why it's important to be useful. It's important to do things. It's never too late. Create a YouTube channel, doing something that will be a resource, your knowledge. Whatever you're passionate about, put it out there. Like I just think within YouTube, it's going to stay. It's going to stay for a while. I just put out different things and things like that. But look, when you're gone, you're gone. You're live on through the stories or stuff like that, or create some mad story about you from the past and just start one of these rumors as well. Like Tommy can start like Tommy wrestled the mountain lion and strangled it. Look, there's a story. There's a story 100 years from now. That'll still be a good story 100 years from now. We'll say Tommy strangles mountain lions. Let's see. Tommy Bunk YouTube it. Very good. Tommy says even bear are careful around them. Yeah, joggers. Troy says I always said the same thing about being buried under a tree. Yeah, it's a cool idea. It's a guy. Maybe it's a guy thing or something like that. A tombstone is just silly. I think or I don't want to be. Well, my wife wants to burn me, and I kind of don't. I kind of like the idea of my bones being there, like dinosaur bones for forever. Intertwined with the roots and stuff and like all connected into it and being part of it. I don't know. For me, it just seems cool idea. I don't think you'll have problems getting dates in the future. Probably not. It was only a 6 foot deep conversation. Yeah. Like, you have to talk about these things as well. Sure, why not? When it happens, it happens. We all gotta go. Who knows what's I'm pretty accepting of it. Look, I know my time will come sooner or later, and when it does, it does. Even if it's a short amount of time, at least I did something a bit useful. At least I am doing something a bit useful. And when you're gone, what can you do? Uh, let's see now. You live through your sticks, Francis. Yeah, yeah, that would be it. It'll be quite interesting to do that. And from the stories as well. And maybe 10 more years from now, I might have some more stories to go to this. People are turning human ashes into diamonds too. Really? That's quite interesting. Tell me more, Ron. Tell me more. Well, that's one way to get your wife on board. Like, if she says, right, you can become a diamond in debt, you know, or your loved ones can keep you as a, as a little gemstone, wear you or something. That's a bit creepy. I don't want my kids wearing me as a diamond, you know, having me. That's old man McCaffrey there in the corner in his little diamond cage or whatever, you know, and a little picture of me. Well, it might be funny just have a picture of me like on the diamond, just banging like "Get me out, help me." Reminds me of that. Was it Superman 2 where the evil guys are in that kind of trapped in that little vortex thing. Wonder if the jogger was Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Yeah, he's a big dude. Well liked in America. They're always talking about him doing politics, isn't there? We're all at that age, enjoy life. Exactly, exactly. Like, but you gotta like appreciate life, have a sense of your own mortality, and like be useful and enjoy time. And when things are tough, when we're different things, you look at the grand scale of things. As I'm here now, and I can take action and I can do things. So take action. Like no matter how old you are, taking action. Like getting online, joining these communities. Like if you're watching YouTube for hours and hours, join a community, get active in a community, start talking, make connections. Like there's great value in all these communities. Like whether you're into watchmaking or collecting, just join in the community, be positive, ask questions as well. um like that's what you get great value from these things the more you actually engage in them as well. Like you guys can network among yourselves, and there's guys from the same area, and you all have the same interests. Let's see. Troy says, "Do you have any cool ghost stories around your parts?" Uh, cool ones. Like there's plenty of ghost stories around here. I used to do comedy clubs, and I did one in a haunted house called the Manor Inn, and the new owners that took over, they didn't like that the place was haunted and that I was pushing that narrative. Uh, but yeah, like there's loads of ghost stories. My mom has a ghost story as well about and there's loads. There's still well believed. There's loads of superstitions that people genuinely believe around here a lot. They take the carbon from the ashes, grow a diamond. Google it. They do it for pets too. That's amazing, Ron. There's a there's a I can make blackthorn diamonds then for the blackthorn ash. I have plenty of ash in my fireplace at the moment. I had a blackthorn fire last night. Do you put your name or mark on the sticks? Not at the moment. I haven't. I've been looking at an idea to do something as well, and I haven't quite fine tuned it. I need to kind of research it a bit more. But I think sometimes that putting your own ego on it and stuff. I understand that it's pretty good to have a mark and different things on that, but it's a rustic stick. You know where you got it from. Like I kind of recognize my sticks as well. Like they look always a bit different from other people's. But yeah, something that it's been a debate on the channel here for a year and a half that I should do it. So I have some ideas. Actually, I must start moving on that now as things get a bit quiet in the year. There's certain times of the year that are quiet months. Do you think of North American woods? What do you think of North American woods used to make sticks? I don't know. People that seem North America use like hickory and maple and these type of woods a lot, and they have that kind of like twisty type of wood I see on Facebook everywhere and stuff. But I don't really know a lot. But if it's good and dense and there's a nice story and history about it, sure, why not? The runner was only a normal guy, but really fit. The fight with the mountain lion lasted 10 minutes. It was a young one. Okay, so you're telling me he beat up a baby? He beat up this tiny little black what is it mountain lion cub. So like the devil is in the detail, we'll say. Big female is only around 90 pounds and a young cat. Very good. Mark under the farrel would be awesome. Yeah, it would. It's it's a nice place, and it isn't too obtrusive, and it's away from it as well. Or maybe I have been secretly marketing or marking the sticks ever since I've made them, and maybe I have something on the sticks that only I know as well. It could be something or some technique that I have. Who knows? I gotta go now, guys. I think we're up with the hour mark. Gotta go get a few things from the shop and collect the daughter. As always, thanks for watching this stream, and hope you all enjoyed it.